Hello, and welcome. This is Julie with the Jewel Design. I hope everyone is doing well. Today is an evening of digital reveals. I believe it'll be a Sunday evening in this case. So usually I've been trying to do Sunday or Mondays. And we are showing off a digital reveal, meaning it's some digital papers that I create for junk journals, memory keeping, altered books, in any way you can use paper, of course, in a hobby of your choosing, and you just get to buy them digitally and print them out at your leisure, as many or as little as you like to make what you need. And so today we are welcoming you to the garden. This Welcome to the Garden kit is very much featuring florals and gorgeous doors, all sort of watercolor illustrated, with my backgrounds and tweaks and corners and pieces to expand the page. So it's a 36-page kit. We have, I think we're at 12 or 13 horizontal pages, 11 vertical, and 12 pages of ephemera. Now, I do not have the ephemera printed today. I'm just going to show you the pages, and we have a little project to do. My ephemera is pretty much all the standards: journal cards, tags, tags, labels, pockets, all the goodies. And though this time I did thin out our ephemera just a little bit to fit in the vertical pages, and it will still look really nice with the horizontal ones. So if you're new to junk journaling, you can go one of two ways with your journal pages. You print out 8.5 by 11, trim off the whites, or cover it. You can border each page or distress them with ink. You can cut them at jagged edges. The white sort of gives you some play to work with. And on a normal, when you have them 8.5 by 11, and if you print them on the back, like I have on a couple of these, you simply fold them in half and put them in together. Put other pages that you love in between, and the pages that are not super decorative, you get to put pockets, tags, and other fun elements. Decorate these up or write on them. That's where your journaling pages sort of come into play. And you put this makes it about a little over 5 if you trim it off. If you don't, you have 8.5 by 5.5 book, and you put a 9 by 6 cover on it, and you have a large book type journal. I don't know large. I say medium. I would say medium hardback book. Some of the older books are about this size when they're hardback. Works really well. When you get to your larger paperback, this is sort of the size you're dealing with. So you get this 9 by 6 journal that you do with it. When you use the vertical pages, though, you get a tall, skinny journal. And same thing, you can do any number of things to the white tips that are around it, but you fold it this way, and you get a really tall, skinny, little over 4 by a little under 11, skinny journal, tall journal. And these are really fun too, because you have this really, a little bit more like to-do list type feel. Now you can bring these down to this size by folding the top or the bottom up and up, fold it down or fold it up, and you can make pockets and tucks and get a vertical to fit inside a horizontal page. But you get one of two sizes, and in most of my kits these days, I have a chunk of verticals that you get to also look at, and you can make one of two kits in there. And my cat is getting into stuff she's not supposed to be. Where are you, Missy? Kiki. Where did you go? Oh, goodness. Well, that's going to freak me out all day. Okay, I'll have to figure out where she went. I'm like, the cat is playing in the extended areas of my workplace. Okay, so here we go. It's a little listen. Here we go. Welcome to our garden. And yes, everything is, doors are left or right, decorative on the other side. Gives you some ability to, flip around. With a gorgeous brick wall background in 3 colors. I did the green, I did the beigey gray color, and pink. So I thought that was a great sort of continuous background using a French clustered page throughout to give us more elements. So I had a lot of fun with that. So here's our pink one. Some pages are really detailed, and there's a lot going on with them, and then it sort of calms down as you go along. We get a little less crazy as we go along. You sort of wear out after a while. You go, oh, I don't know if I want to do that anymore. I love this one. So you get one on both sides. It could be a great middle because you have a door on both sides. It's great when you do this one, knowing that when you get to the back side, you have a nice door on. You know, you don't have to go, which way do I want to turn it? I don't know where she went, and it's starting to unnerve me. Kiki, where are you? Oh, great. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if that's kids outside or my cat. All right. Like I said, I tried to do all kinds of fun new things. Alright guys, hold on 1 second. I can't concentrate with this. I'll be right back. Hold on. Alright, well, I'm back. Yeah, she's up in the rafters of the garage, which are open rafters. We have a lot of lovely plywood up there that we've put stuff for storing. And she figured out in my mound of stuff that we use all the time, she finally learned to crawl up the mountain and jump up onto one of the plywoods and is roaming around the top of my garage. So we'll see if I can do this without any major crashes. It's definitely unnerving. She's very, she likes high spike places, which makes me very nervous. So anyway, where were we? Yes, the garden. Let's get back on the ground. So, like I said, I went back and forth, left and right with the doors, making them their focal point on each page, and then pulling hopefully some of the flowers from each door and then putting them on the other side along with other pretty things. Pull some of the bluey purple from the kit or from the door and just had the fun trying to give you variants. And yes, when you fold the page, you've got different things going on. Had a lot of fun with this one. It was an open door, so I went ahead and enhanced it some more. Now this would be a beautiful middle signature. In the middle of your signature, you know, you open it up and you are literally falling into the inside the property. This one I had to put the brick wall to the side of it. It reminds me of very much of Italy, and I mean the coloring is a little, of course, really pretty and pale, but I don't know about the arched doorways with the stoneware. It just reminds me of, you know, the gate to your garden or gate to the property. And I had to sort of extend it and do the background and do the sky and the vines in the front. And I know I had a lot of fun with this little page. So I'm loving it. I think it's going to be a great middle signature to what we're doing, to anything you do. Then of course I have the pages where they're, you know, you've got your patterns, you've got your fluff, right? We just have something pretty. It does pull a lot of the garden pieces that I used. And, of course, playing a little bit more with the clustered French background that I was playing with. Kiki. Girly. Well, if you can walk that. Thing is, there's ways you can get down, but it's crazy. Okay, I'm wasting time here. All right, and then, of course, I'm getting stuck on these very fun, busy backgrounds. And, again, I took a bunch of the doors, and I went left and right, or not left and right. I should have gone left and right. I didn't. I went top and bottom. Of course, she's heading towards my work box. But either way, when you print it, there's no wrong way. I may have ended up with a little bit more upside down than I expected. So if you turn it right, you do get more upright doors one way. But depending how you print it, you know, sometimes it feels a little heavy on the downward, and I don't know how. It's so funny. But that's okay. It makes it, you know, for a very fun. Oh, Kiki. Oh, baby girl. Jeez. Okay. So yeah, there it is. So hold on 1 second. All right, let's try this again. Okay, the cat has come down from the rafters. Of course, she had to make it very complicated. All right. So besides, of course, the you know, lovely patterns that go in multiple directions for most of the part, we have our journal page. I always like to give them to you guys, especially with all this decor and stuff where you may not have enough places to write. I'll give you something that you know you can print on the back of your pages and for sure have space to write on or seriously decorate, pocket up, whatever you need. You know, this is where the memory keeping comes in. You can put your photos, your writing, your favorite quote stickers, whatever that you need to do to, of course, get through the journaling. And you can print this, of course, as many times as you want, which is always wonderful. Then I do give you a light version of that same background, of that same door. If you want to back your ephemera with it, you want to just be a little bit more, you want color, but you don't want something really blah. I do give you a lighter version of that wonderful doors because it is a lot of color on the doors. And then you get all three of the bricks in all three colors. to play with. So as you can see, so you're going to sort of, you know, the grayish beige, or taupe actually, I guess, are green with the bits of beigey pink, and then of course the, you know, the two-tone pink. So you get all three of those to work with to put on the back of all your pages. The only one I could see you writing on these two maybe with a really good pen. If you really wanted to, the green might be a little harder, but it doesn't mean you couldn't put things over it. And that's, these are great to back and then put all your pockets on to do your thing. Okay. Now in the vertical side, you get the same concept in a lot of things, not exact on the doors. I did pick different doors. When almost all the doors on these guys are all rounded, the door is rounded, the arch is rounded. For the vertical pages, I actually did, and we're going to go back a little bit, back up a little bit so you can see the whole page, is that these are all square. For the most part, the door is somewhat square. The archways could be both square or a little bit of an arch, but I didn't, for some reason, I was having a hard time using the square doors, and then I was like, well, you have the ability to do vertical pages, so let's do it that way. So again, this is a double. You fold it, you've got doors on both sides, goodies on top, so if you wanted to shrink the page, you fold that down, and it becomes a gorgeous tuck up. When you do it here, you have, you fold it down, and you have this beautiful little bordered pocket that you can tuck things up into on the back side of the page. So that's always fun. Then we have those with just left or right, but of course I made sure to have something really pretty on the left side when you fold it. And we have back to the other side. I'm trying to make sure, now it does a little bit of bummer if you fold that down, the butterfly would be upside down, but it is like you couldn't find another butterfly and overlay it, and you could have a little bit three-dimensional, on that if you really you didn't want an upside down butterfly, right? Then we got this gorgeous page, which is right down the middle, this is what our mini project's based on today. So I'll show you what my thoughts were to that when we're done, if you stick it out to our project at the end. If you're not into the project, that's okay. That's when this is all said and done, you can move on. If you want to see what I had up my sleeve with that one, you'll hang out a few more minutes. So there's another one of those. This one I did all four corners for the vertical. So you had room in the middle maybe to put a tuck or a tuck of some sort to maybe put journal cards in. Could have just write on this with a nice good pen. You could totally write in the middle of each one of these. I did give you a vertical version. I just sort of cropped it in to give some highs and lows, and you have a vertical pattern page to keep yourself busy when you really want something. I gave you a journal page in this one because again it is vertical. It sort of helps when you have a designated area so you know where you're writing. And then all three colors. So, I definitely wanted to make sure, you had things, I have another page there, you can back, your deals with. So, you have the bricks to play with. So, there you go. There's, I think, 25 pages right there, or 11 and 13, I think it's 24. Yeah. So, then you have, you do have 12 pages of ephemera. I'm sorry, I don't have them printed. The pictures are, of course, up in the listing. Go to my Etsy shop down below, either underneath the triangle or show more in the description. The information is there. There's a direct link to this kit. It'll show the ephemera, which is, if you've been following me, it's pretty much all my standard stuff. My taller, larger tags are scalloped and a little skinnier than usual. There are 4 little mini pockets that are really great. I have usually just slightly scalloped or thumb-holed square pockets, and I made them a little bit smaller so they fit in the vertical. But then it means you also have fun things you could stagger them up on the page to put small cards in, because I think my 6-up cards fit in those pockets. So I made sure that all the ephemera this time, because sometimes I forget, I make vertical pages, but I leave the ephemera to fit a standard 9x6 journal, and they're a little wide for this, especially when you cut this down. Sometimes it's barely 4 inches, and, things don't fit, and you have to crop it, and you have to cut it down, and you're like, So I try to make sure all my pockets fit inside, that my tags weren't too wide. There are a few envelopes and whatnot that might be a little wide, but because there's tabs and tags and folds, they can be added and flipped out and, find fun ways to use them. So like I said, there's 11 or 12 pages of ephemera with plenty of pockets, corners, envelopes, tags, cards, and some itty-bitty goodies to play with. I even have a few of these doors that are easy cut around them so that you can add them to your things. They're little 2x3s. So the doors that I used, A majority of the doors that I used, I gave you those options also. So there's a really good set of kits. So, but 36 total pages to print, 3 PDFs, easy to open up and print, print to fit, so that you don't cut anything off that you may want. Yes, you're going to get white borders around them, as you see. Mine are doing it too. But I have friends who border it with more paper and scraps. You could seriously distress this with ink to give you a book page feel. You can use your tear ruler, if you have a Tim Holtz deckled edge cutter, or the We Are tear guide. This little itty bitty edge right here works well enough, and it's a great way to tear off your pages, give you a rough edge, and then you just fold them. But make sure you print on the back, or glue them front to back, or glue them front to back. Tear them, fold them, and you have your journal on its way. So that is that, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching the reveal. Now, that's your thing. That's all you want. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Like, love, comment. Make sure you hit notifications, and please subscribe. I'm constantly trying to grow this to where I make sure you guys never miss out on my digitals, and you get to watch the fun moments as I'm learning constantly on new ways to make journals, or just my favorite styles to include you, and you know what's going on. Now, if you're interested in a how-to or a play and expanding on this concept, keep watching, because that's what I'm on to next. And this may be up for sale at some point. I'm starting to do more and more. I have a lot of kits that are printed and I'm not getting to them. So keep an eye out soon for a print bundles, where some of my favorite kits may be up for a one-time sale, where I've printed them out. They're all here ready to go. This right now, it has no backing except for the first 2. A lot of my kits are backed because I thought I'd be using them. So you get these, pre-designed front with already designed backs. Of course, if you buy the bundle, I may add a few extras so you have some play. But, yeah, start keeping an eye out for the printed bundle sort of category. And I may start having some of my older kits ready to go print-wise, because I cannot keep up with all of them. So there's something to look forward to also, as if I have not enough things to do already. Hold on, sorry for the reach. I have lots going on. I cannot believe I have potentially 4 different projects going on right now. Okay, so we're going to get into this. I'm going to show you real quick, and then we'll pull off some of this stuff. But this is part of your kit. You didn't get to see it because I didn't want to print 2 of them. But right after this page, this lovely vertical page with the door is right in the middle. It's a great signature. It's sort of the comparable to the other one in the horizontal. This is a great signature page, right? You could just fold it in half. It's right in the middle. Have fun with it. Because there are doors that, how could we not play with them, right? My first thought, of course, is to trim this out so you can open the door and see what's behind it. Great way to use pages. I got that inspiration heavily from the gingerbread prints. She does beautiful vellums, clear pocketed pages where, she'll take a framework and she cuts it out and clears and puts stuff under it. And then, of course, that totally enhances what's on the next page because it's all decorated inside that area. So that's been my newest thing. I did try to do that with the blue and pink journal. Your front page had that vellum on it so you can see what the page behind it. So how can you not open a door and do the same thing? So what I'm thinking is I gave you this. I've done this before. A year or 2 ago, I got the inspiration from my porch prints and the idea of 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional items where you reprint an item pretty much verbatim and same size, same everything. Make sure you have everything in the same settings. And you cut this out and either lay it over, we extend the page. There's things where you can sort of continue this onto another page and really give us some 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional items. So today I went ahead and printed on the back, which seems a little weird because I may or may not use that, but I wanted to make sure that the next page was prepped and ready, and that we're going to do it to where gray to gray, we're going to do this, work this, where it plays into this page on both sides. So when we do this, we know that these pages, this isn't going to be the center anymore, but we're going to work together in making sure that these pages are always together. And so I have more papers coming. I'll probably do a quick skinny journal out of this one. We'll see how much things I have, but we are going to work on the potential down the middle of extending this page onto this look onto more than one page, and a few fun ways to do it. So if you want to join along with me, this is a quick craft. We're going to do that. So I'm going to pause one more time because I do want to go and fussy cut this out real quick, but I wanted to show you this is one of your pages within the kit. And it does say use it with the companion page to continue your pretty door mirrored onto the other page. And two different ways we're going to use this and hope it works. We're going to make it a 3D and we're going to make it a peekaboo at the same time. So, all right, give me a moment. I'll be right back. And hopefully this will inspire a new project. All right, we're back and I'm back into serious mode. So I went ahead and cut out our standalone fussy cut that I did. I did the best I could, worked my way around it. As you can see, I did leave some green spots behind. I left some leaves here and there, and that's totally up to you. There's plenty there. You can decide how tight or how loose or how exact you want to do, but cut it out, chuck your extras that you don't need, and away we go. Now, you can do this one of two ways. I guess probably one of three too. I don't know. You could make this your center of your signature, so you don't have to worry about flipping it backwards. You could put this right on top with some lovely little fussy cut, or not fussy, little foam, which we are going to do on one side. But you can take these foam spacers. There's large ones, there's round ones, there's square ones. Can't see what I'm looking at. There we go. Okay, get them at Michael's. They come for like craft, for any kind of creative memories. There's probably different ways, but Michael's, probably everybody has them. I keep collecting them, but they're just little foam spacers. They're sticky on both sides, and you can use that, as you can see here. We'll put this underneath as a, and you can get it to have a little bit of a 3D shadowed effect. And since I didn't cut out everything, some of it is on the paper right behind it. So again, it gives it some more layers. This one continues up. You get to play with it. This one sort of continues over, so it gives you a whole new look. Just be very careful sewing it. Of course, it's a little tricky in the sense for folding it. And make sure the folds match up. And sewing it, you're very careful, because one of your things will go right through the middle. But I think if you put all your foams to the side and that was open, you might be able to sew through it. And it's folded, so we'll see. It's a thought. It's a little bit more tricky, but it was one of my thoughts. But to be on the safe side, we're going to do this a little differently. We're going to more of an extension instead of a middle signature. But we are going to work on it. Okay, so we're going to do this. Now, what I should do, I didn't want to leave you on pause for too long, so some things are being done on camera. We're going to trim these real quick, so I know exactly where my middle is. Haha. If I folded it now, it would not work. My printer is definitely offsetting its print work. It's not centering it. I can go exact size, and it's a little bit more center, but it actually takes off more, adds more white to the page. I do fit to print, and it's like the bottom or one side is very thin. As you can see, that didn't go all the way through. I really don't want to mess with that later. So, yeah, I'm having a really hard time. Which I'm trying with my, a lot of my older kits didn't have as much of that problem. So if you guys get one of my pre-done print jobs that happen to have the back on them, it won't be as detrimental or as crazy when you go to cut them. Most of the time, my print work is pretty good. Like, see, this one cuts really far in compared to that side, so, it's fine. But this side, I'm going to have to trim according to that. Yeah, I don't know what, just recently there's been a shift in an update, and I notice when I print from my phone, it tries to set to an A4 setting. If I print from my phone real quick, and I'm like, no, I want letter. And it does, but it doesn't really make much of a difference. But from my computer, it doesn't seem to matter. All of a sudden, I have a new print setting, and I don't know what I did. I don't think I did it. I think it's an update somewhere, and I don't know why it's not computing. Okay, so this one is, I needed this, so I decided to just print this on the other side, hoping it would help break up whatever, sort of job I was doing. So when I put all the other pages together, let's cross our fingers, I didn't I will probably set the rest of the pages up according to how this works. But what we're doing is we're doing everything, sort of gluing and revealing everything on this side, on this page. So this one, we're going to fold it this way. That sort of seems weird. Because truthfully, you're going to open it and you're going to see this. Now, to make this work, I might, don't care if it's a little off, I'm going to score it right down the middle of what I need. So that when I am working the other side, I am not having any issues. Now, I am going to score it a little closer to this. Make sure you can see. A little closer to, let's zoom in a little bit maybe. There we go. I'm I'm going to score it a little closer to this door than this one, because this one I want to cut out, and if I'm too close to the middle, it's going to make it really temperamental. So I gotta be very careful, and of course remember not to glue anything down until I have that cut out. Personally, this is just me. So this door is going to be a little more hidden, personally, but that's okay. So we're going to score it with the smaller, with my smaller scoring. We're going to score it so I know exactly where to fold it, because I don't want to be guessing at this. My cuts are not always, good. So that's the other thing. My cutters. You're a graphic designer, and and I can't get things to do what I need to do. So I scored it. Hopefully, there it is. And I'm like, where's my thing? All right, so here we go. See, we're starting to get the door. But I'm more worried about the door than I am about whether these pages match up. And in a junk journal, nothing has to. Junk journal does not have to be perfect. I know with digital, sometimes we feel we need to. But, so here we go. See? So here we are. You're going to open up this page and you're going to see half a door. You're like, well, why do I only see half a door? Because we're going to probably do the exact same thing. And we're going to extend it right here. We're going to line it up the best we can, because we always hope. And we're going to have the door continued right here on this page. And you're going to flip through, and you're going to go through, and then you're going to go to the other side, and you're going to see this on the other side. But this one's going to open up, and we're going to have to put a cute little thing behind it, right, where we can see a cute little, garden or flower, or I'm going to probably put a cluster of flowers behind it. It's probably not going to be a full scene, but we're going to do something fun. Now, I think to do the same thing, I'm going to score this the same way I scored that. Now, the other thing we're going to have to do is, I can. And what I'm going to keep this one, because we're not doing anything to this one, we're going to keep it paper clipped closed, so that I had a paper clip just the other moment on my stuff, and then, of course, when I need it, I can't find it. It's not, oh, there it is. It's white. Blends right in. All right, so let's just keep this closed so we know this is what it is. It's sort of hard. But we're going to do this. We're going to do a peekaboo. We're going to do a 3D. We're going to make it fun. And this will stick to this, so hopefully it'll help keep it all intact. Now, I definitely suggest that you have some kind of cutting board, plastic board, something underneath you when you do this, because it'll make an indent on your wood, make an indent on your tabletop. Like I have that contact paper underneath, which I'm really getting tired. I'm halfway through the year. I'm getting tired of black and white. So I don't know. I'm like, do I pull it up? I had cream, like marbled, which is like that fabric I just had. And I'm really tempted to go find it. I have no clue. I have it in one of two spots. And I'm really tempted to go get it, because I'm getting tired of the black and white. Who knew, right? I've noticed I've had a really hard time with filming since I put the black and white up. I don't know. I mean, I also changed lights. I also did all kinds of things, but now I realize I may be a little too far in. I want to make sure that I'm pretty close. It does help that your folds are pretty close to the same. Now in this case, we're going to fold it inward, not outward. We're going to go on the out. We're going to do this way, right? Ta-da. You could fold it a little bit the other way just to help you work it out. Okay, there we go. Makes it a little bit more pliable so that it fits inside here. So there's the other thing. I want to make sure we're getting it going. So this is going to be where you want it, but you're going to have to line it up. Oops, there we go. With this when you're going along, because if you don't, it's going to not sit well. So you have to make sure too that when you're clasping all your pages together that these two are beautifully lined up, because if they are not, you'll be like, eek. And there's not a whole lot of good ways to do this. I mean, I wish, right? I wish there was like, oh, this is easy. Let's just do that. But, am I still on camera? Yeah. Okay, so that's sort of where it needs to be. This opens up. Now on this side, I'm thinking about putting just some foam pieces so it sticks up. It has some dimension on this side. This is really not going too far. I think it'll be good. If we do the foam pieces, I think here, and let it open, it might pull. So no, I probably will put the foam pieces flat and just hope that it flies. If not, it doesn't mean you can't cut underneath and glue it back down. All right, so there's that. potential. Okay, so first, or not first, second, third, fourth, I don't know. I am not distressing it too much with just the ink distressors. I mean, with the vintage. Normally we distress anything with the vintage photo, but being this is so light, I'm actually going to try to match the coloring, the green to the green, and maybe a little bit of my silver, actually, to help it blend nicer. I don't want it to super stick out because this page isn't, like, there's no shadow or anything behind that one to indicate the vintage coloring, so just gotta be really careful with these pages. I'm just trying to I am trying to reduce the white, but I couldn't perfectly cut everything out, so it's nice to give it a little bit of color, but I'm glad I have my green because I want to make that part a little more prominent, right? But I don't want to be like, I really don't want a heavy, obvious, whatever. And I think my silver hickory smoke is going to be better on the stone, especially since this is a great background to give us our dimension without making it too obviously like. And I have all my Dopplers. I'm so happy. Clint over at Rambling Crafter. Him and his wife Shell. He makes these I call them Dopplers. I'm sorry, blenders, ink blenders. I've had one forever, and I got tired of it, so I ordered some more. And she was, I was so stoked. Yeah, this one is the Elmwood, which is gorgeous. She has another one coming out, but gosh, I can't remember. They have some new ones coming soon, so keep an eye on it. Go favorite her shop. I know they have 2 or 3 left in the shop right now, or at least when I tagged this last in my last video. I think for Thursday's video. So it's Sunday, who knows? Not that the whole world watches me and then they go disappearing, but you never know. Okay, so there we go. I just did a little bit of the silver and a little bit of the green, and so it's not so white on the end. So yes, we want you to know it's there, but we don't want to know it that much. So anyway, yeah, I have Elmwood for my silver. I have my original my blonde. I don't know what it was, oak or something, for my vintage, and now I have this pretty strawberry. I call it strawberry and cream because it's very pink. And I love it. It's a reddish pink with the base. So that one's my green one. And then I have the for my pink because I don't do pink that often. But I got tired of trying to constantly change this out for all these my other colors. So we'll see. This one may change to orange though, of course, real soon. When I start doing autumn. So all right. So I distressed it a little bit. Distressed it, inked it, whatever you want to call it. It's actually inking it, but I call it distressing it because I don't know why. Okay. So that part's done. Now, before I glue this part down, right, we have to decide what to do with this side. And this is the side where we want to cut out the door. And at the same time, I got to figure out what to do when that door is open. What do we want to see? That's where we might get the brown in place. I wish I had blue because that would be great. But what I'm thinking is, I could just ink across brown to not worry about it. And this is where I wish I had something, right? I have words, which I could put on the back of the door. If you happen to open it, you get to see it. I found these Tim Holtz. I think I have them for sale. They're sort of cool. She dreamed beautiful dreams, fascination. She could believe. Let them, if they were let to fly away, voice and stuff. So you probably find a garden one in here. So maybe I'll put there's one. What is this? In the garden. Oh, look at that. So maybe we'll cut that up and put it on the back of the door. In the garden, winter of her own good, daughter, lesson, time of wonder, after the last long rain. Oh, that's sort of pretty too, huh? Ooh, maybe I can cut that one up. All right, so we'll work on that. But let me just, for now, let's get some serious ink on it. I will distress it brown just because, well, back of the door, right? When we moved into our home, they took a beautiful wood door and they painted it. Painted it cream. Oh my god. Just about unhinged. We realized the front and the back of the door was beige. And they didn't do a good job printing it. They did a bad job, of course, painting it. So it was chipping and doing all kinds of crap. Oh man, talk about being frustrated. Now I know we're dealing with flowers, so I'm really tempted to make a darker imprint here. Give me a sec. We've got a big rose. It would sort of give us the impression of wood grain because, right? Oh no, don't catch. There we go. I wonder if I did 2 or 3 of these, it would give me the feel of wood. Like that, like we see all the grains in here, right? So maybe we'll do that. Go really dark. Because I'm really not trying to... We've got a base. We're going to go a little darker. We just sort of overlap that a couple times. I wonder if that'll work. Right? So yeah, we came in. It took us a couple months, you know, as we got going. But once we got into, I think, spring, we went ahead and we brought it in and I stripped it. I got all of the silly wood or silly paint off the wood. Took a little bit of work. There's still a little bit of cream here and there in a crevice that I just couldn't get out. But we brought it back down to wood and we did a semi-stain over it. And all right, so there we go. We have something fun. Then when we open that door, hopefully, we'll put the words over it. It's just something that looks a little prettier than just simply opening a white piece of paper, right? So make sure this is where I'm trying to be good and think my way through this and actually get ahead of the game. I know I need to dry that. I need to wipe that off. Be a good girl. Try to wipe off my... I'm really bad about it because I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, because I'm busy and no one has time to do that. Okay, put that aside so I don't... We won't worry about the quote until we actually get it done and whatever. But let's cut this sucker. Let's see if we can open this. I'm going to get my book because, well, it helps. I wish I was smart enough and could figure out a way to... I have these, and it'd be great if I could get... You see, that one's tall enough. But I know there's ways to do it where you can put things in the way and they don't... I've seen people do, like, get partial cuts. But I think I had to put a piece of... like paper somewhere, but I don't want to take my chances. I wish I could use that. I wonder if I could use it as a guide though. I wonder if I can use it as a guide. I have these supposed to be for what's the word? Stick cutter, the die cut thing. I can't even think of what it is right now. The Big Shot. No, that's what I'm looking for. I'm like, what is it? Oh, come on. Hey, but their recollection, they are... I haven't even pulled them apart yet. I'm like, I don't even know. They stick to everything. Alright, hold on. Give me. Struggling. It's supposed to be a quick video. Haha. Alright, anyway, I thought I could put it down there, run it through, and use it, and not cut out the whole thing. Not that I couldn't glue it back in. But, in the meantime, I am going to use it as a guide, though. If I can find all the right things. Let's see if this works without... I'll use it as a guide though. I just want to cut the door out. And I'm using this. I don't know, me and my inability to cut to begin with. So I'm going to go pretty much to the frame line as if, you know, it's a full door. Okay, so far so good. Yeah, I found this little one, but it does rotate, and I know there is some cutters out there that do that for you to make it easier to go around corners. It rotates, it cuts with you, and I'm like, yeah, no, mine just rotates when I don't want it to. But anyway, my daughter has my larger cut she's doing a lot of stop motion right now, and so she's been doing all kinds of things. So let's see, it cut, but it didn't, and I'm doing it on this end, which may not be the smartest thing. Yeah, see, I don't cut straight, even if I follow a line that may already exist. Here's where, yeah, I don't know, it's a process video. Let me move that up a little bit, things. I mean, I need to see, but I also need to be able to show you guys what I'm doing. I have a couple different blades, a couple different ways. This is usually, it's a porcelain, not porcelain, but like a ceramic blade. It's great for happy planning or planners and stickers. But it's working really well in this too. Let's see, too far. Let's not go too far. Don't want to open the door too far and have it rip out. Let's see if that worked a little bit better. Haha, there we go. We want to be very careful. I can go on the back side now a little bit. That way if I make a little bit of a mess out of this, I'm not completely killing the front side of my thing. I'm doing it on a old book. so as to not, you know, completely, I mean, the cutting board's good, but sometimes having that something to push into a little bit more works nicely, as you can see. There we go. Now we're going to use, once I get it going, we're going to use the other tool to, a little bit of a, come on. Alright, we're going to use the other tool in a moment to, my hair's in the way, isn't it? There we go. Alright, we're going to use the other tool to then score it so it'll fold back. That sort of worked. That wasn't, all in all, not what you expect to use it for, but as a stencil, right, to get us where we need to go. Yeah, I see a lot of ladies who will cut things and they'll put, like, it looks like just like a Post-it note where they, to hold it in place, but also maybe to block stuff, so I have to pay more attention to that next time I see somebody who does, like, a partial cut, how the heck they're doing it. Because, yeah, I have a big shot. I got it for Christmas from my brother and my sister-in-law. No idea how to use it. Had no clue, right? It was sort of funny. I was like, what am I supposed to be doing with this? I mean, I know what I can do with it, but I was like, okay, now I lost my other ruler that is important to me. My one daughter is absconded with one of them. If you remember way back when, if you watched me, I lost this for the longest time. It actually fell into something underneath all my work stuff. And I was so bummed, so I found one when we were at Walmart one day. We were looking for other things, and so I was like, oh my gosh, okay. Same old, clear whatever. Yeah, well, so I have both. I'm all stoked. Yes, one daughter absconded with one. I'm like, you little butt. All right, so here we go. Now, I did not somehow get enough. So I'm going to flip it around real quick, and we're going to fix that, because I do want it from top to bottom, and we will distress it on the outside now that we have it. That I will distress brown, just on the outside for the most part. I'm not going to worry about the inside. But isn't that going to be cute if we can put flowers, stickers or something I have on the page and create a little cluster, a little bouquet of flowers right here. Wouldn't that be cute? Because I have to see more flowers. What else are you going to look at? Alright, so let's do a couple different things here. Let's get, and here, see, I went up higher than I thought. I went up higher, not lower. Learning ways to do this. Where am I at? 42 minutes. Yeah, I guess I better get my butt into gear. I hope we're just going to do a nice big old... We almost made it, right? Try on there, but it can't, like, it's on the back. You can't go wrong. Pay attention and work your way through it. You can, for once. I would have, knowing me, if I hadn't thought about it, I would have totally glued it down and all that, and then been like, oh, I have to stain that. How am I staining that? Because that would have been me. But I'm a day of crafting today. I'm a day of filming. For me, it's a Thursday. And I'm just working my way along. I have 3 or 4 different things to be working on. Okay, there we go. There's that. We are going to do the inside. Just because I want it a little cleaner. It is an extension. It is a, an art piece at this point. But only on this page because it is the inside of the door. And then yes, we will cut that. I'll cut up a quote and we'll put that on the inside so when you open it, you see it. It took me a while to figure this one out, to figure out what I wanted to do a little different in a vertical, and of all things, a vertical layout, right? Like, okay, how do we do this? How do we go about this? I'm still recording good. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Well, we're always getting somewhere. But all right, so we have this. Make sure you sit down. Oof, yeah, we're gonna, now it's a little thinner because we now have this tiny little one. So sorry. Whew, that was a big one. Okay, so we have that. We're definitely gonna want to carefully try to glue down that corner. Or glue down that edge. And that's gonna make all the difference in the world. So once we can figure out where that is, and get it glued, we have a chance. And we're going to bring it down. Trying to see if this can be, I mean, I know it can be done. It's just everything shifts, right? Everything has its spot. I like it right there. Pencil, just in case. I might erase it, but I want to make sure I have something to guide me. And truthfully, I'm going to see if I can do this without moving it. Oh, my glues are in the house. It's one of those days. I thought I was prepped. I was so excited about getting out here. Okay. 1 second, guys. I don't want to pause you again. Just give me a moment. One moment. So excited to get out here and get to work. But it's been hot. I cannot leave the glues in the house. That's just what it is. Okay, so let me move it up a little bit because I realize you are slightly creeping out of camera. Sorry about that. That's what happens when I start working detail work. I'm like, eek. So lucky, yep, I mean my pen mark. Let's refold to make sure we are in the same crevice. We want to make sure everything is lined up. So it's a little bit tedious. This is what, you know, I mean, when you go outside the box and you think of new things and you want to do things. I want that in that crevice. Like, I need it to be in there. All right, it's a little temperamental now because you do have. So, and the thing is, trying to cut that out on the paper itself, on the page, could lead to, you know, problems. So, that's why I'm like, no. So what we're going to do is crossing our fingers. And I don't have it done yet. So I really am just gluing the middle down. I'm not even gluing out here yet because I still need to get something underneath it. I don't have a, what do you want to call it, ready yet. I don't have, a seam yet. That part I didn't get that far. But you'll have to see later when I'm working on the. I guess it'll be your surprise. You'll have a surprise behind the door once I actually have. I go to work on the kit next time. I'll show you guys, what I'm doing and how I'm doing. But I am going to do a little bit back up here. I'm going to do the top. We're going to glue that down a little bit. All right, because I want to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Cross our fingers, otherwise I am trimming a lot to match. I don't know. You see, I glued it down, that's fine, but I gotta get it to fold and not. That is something I didn't think about, that you have a very thin, what's the word? Now, once it's all glued down, it may not be so bad, but because this right here is so thin, and it is, a very thin ledge to glue your page down to. And once it's sewn in, it may help, but it's going to be a little bit temperamental. So, it may not be the best. You may think of another way to do this, but that's just what I'm doing. And hey, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so the goal will be to put something in here, but I want to make sure I can get underneath it first. I will glue all of this down, except for the door, on this side. Now, on this side, it's a little easier. Haha. I say that. And for sure, before I do all of this, I have not completely whacked it out, and we can see that when we sew it in, there's a little bit of a duplicate here. That's okay, but when it's sewn in with more pages, you're not gonna, well, you'll see that side, but see, for the most part, not bad. It's a little off. I mean, it's not perfect, I don't know, and sewing it in, it may shift it again, and but the goal is to be like, okay, well, here's my page, right, and here's where it should line up. So if I was, signaturing it, there's a page, isn't like PD, got to the back side, it's the other side, and look, we have that one, and this one happens to open with something inside it. So, alright, I'm trying, we're working it, we'll sing. I'm like, we're seeing. It is a little bit much on the other side. It's going to be the heart. It's going to be a little bit of temperamental for me. Now, you could cut that door different. I guess you could come in a little farther with the door. You could just cut this tinier square and have it open up so you had more to glue down. It's still a little peekaboo, right? It's just not the whole door. So, it's all point of preference. So this one, though, I think I'm going to go with the bigger ones because I really want to make sure, it sits here, but I have a few spots where I may need little ones, but it's nice because they're just, they're double-sided. Put it up where you can get the most coverage. There's one. I will probably put a little one on that one because that's going to stick out and I don't want it to keep getting caught. The nice thing is right now I'm just putting them on. I am not, I'm just putting them on, leaving the backside still intact so that I can just sort of keep viewing. I think I put one here so that we have one here and here. Making sure, you know, I may put a little one, a couple little ones just so we don't get too much sticking out to where, it seems like it's getting caught too much. Now you could leave this, you could make it a tuck. You could do a lot of different things to it. You could tuck things behind it. I just want the simplicity of the 3D. So personally, that's just me. Probably should be using tweezers or something for this, but it's alright. Let's see if we can get it to, there we go. We don't want to see the foam too much. But we do want to, I don't have too much on the inside, so I don't know. I think because of the sew job and stuff, I don't want to get too fluffy here. I do want it to sort of lay flat as you go down. Makes it a little easier for the middle. But I think that'll work. You do have a shadow. You are getting a shadow effect here, and that's the whole point, is to have some 3D to it. So now at this point, before you do that, if you still want the 3D and really want layering, you could put stuff down here to make sure it doesn't interfere. You could put book pages back here. You could put other pieces of documents. You could layer behind this and let this still pop up as a 3D. I will probably put something down the edge, but because it's where it's sticky, it's not going to get in the way. So I could put stuff down here. And I could still probably find areas to tuck in little cards or something. Little bits of vintage French documents I could put in there if I wanted to. I almost named this like Welcome to the French Garden, blah, 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 blah. But there's no guarantee. Like, I didn't know, like, what's in a French garden compared to, say, an American garden. Who knows? They're great. I mean, these are all just roses and hydrangeas and things that we're very used to, but I don't know where those all are. I don't know if, you know, I think I got them all. Okay. So we're going to leave it flat, and we're just going to press and hope for the best. There we go. Just a little bit. And hopefully you can see with the light, there is some dimension to it. You know, you can, certain lights, you can tell that it's not sitting perfectly flat, but it does extend your gorgeous blue doors onto 2 pages, right? So just having it on one, you get to put it here, you get to put it towards the back. You aren't stuck trying to debate, you know, front or back. And sometimes, you know, just half a door is really, I mean, it's a really pretty page. It's an absolutely gorgeous page on its own, both ways. But isn't it nice to be able to go more than one way with it? So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is our 3-dimensional extended mirrored page here in the vertical pages of the newest Welcome to the Garden digital kit. Thank you for, excuse me, toughing it along with me. All my pauses, the kiki, the works. But here we go. Much more going on. This is one of 3 videos I'm working on today, so it's smack in the middle of everything. But I hope you enjoy your Sunday. That it's all that you need to be with. It's relaxing, recharging, just getting up and going, getting yourself, you know, situated for the new week, and that you enjoy this new digital that I have out. And I appreciate all your likes, loves, comments, notifications, shares, and hopefully you'll come watch me on Instagram and other areas, that you'll check out my shop. Christmas is still for sale, Christmas and winter, so please come and take advantage of that, because I do not know when the next sale will be. And if I do, it may just be for new stuff. Since I only have one new kit right now, everything else has been up and running. But if you missed that, that's back on Thursday. Go look at Thursday's video. Oh, excuse me, Friday's video? Friday's video. Look at Friday's video 2 days ago, and it'll give you all the details of what I got going on the Christmas side. So thank you all so very much. Love you all, and we'll talk real soon. Bye-bye.